Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you doing? I hope you are doing great. If you are new, my name is Lizzie. So I bring this gist for you guys.
Dear white allies, white accomplices, woke white people who are putting in the work to dismantle white supremacy. Listen. Do not be surprised when and if your black and indigenous friends pull away from you, even when you haven't done anything wrong. As a matter of fact, accept it and expect it. Every other day, a white ally or accomplice gets outed for their closeted and secret racism, and we are just tired. So there are going to be times and moments when we pull away from all white people because we don't need to be around any of you to save our sanity. And you just need to shut the fuck up and accept it. We're going to ghost you. We may or may not be back. Continue to do your work.
All right, this is a stitch for my allies and accomplices. White allies, what is one thing you wish you could say to people of color? You know, the things that you would like to say, but you don't want to be virtue signaling or being awkward. What is that thing?
All right, Queen Work, I was thinking all day how I was going to answer this question, and here is what I got to say. To all my friends who are people of color, one thing I have to tell you is I know white people can be crazy. And I just want you to know that there are white people that are just as confused as a person of color are by some of the crazy shit that white people say and do. But with that said, I'd like to share my experience. As a white person, I normally don't want to share this because I want to keep that space open for people of color to be sharing their experiences. But you've kind of created this space, so I'm going to share with you. I spend a lot of time talking with other white people in terms of educating myself and educating them on dealing with the issues of race and white privilege and white fragility in our country. A lot of white people will ask me, well, what if my family member doesn't want to change? What do I do? Do I just drop them? Or how do I have that person still in my life? And I just want to share with you that that is a struggle that I have that I think a lot of other white people have. When are we keeping the door open for conversations? And when are we enabling? Like your Queen Work.
Hi, white allies. Come here. I have something to tell you. First, I just want to say thank you because I know you guys are trying so hard to be anti-racist and supportive of Black people, and we really do appreciate that. But there's some stuff you guys are doing that's actually making racism worse for us. And I don't think you realize it, and I don't see many people talking about it. So I'm going to tell you. By the way, just in case you're wondering what I am, because a lot of people ask, I'm Black, white, and Palestinian. So I see the world through multiple racial perspectives. But right now I'm talking to you as a Black person. And so speaking to white people as a Black person, the first thing we really need to talk about is cancel culture. I think we need to stop telling white people that they benefit from racism. Hear me out. Do white people on average have it better than Black people? Of course. But just because they don't suffer as much, does that mean they benefit from racism? White people are enslaved along with Black and brown people under the 13th Amendment in our for-profit prison system. Poor white people are harmed by the same racist educational funding system designed to keep quality education reserved for affluent white people. White taxpayers subsidize the rising costs of healthcare due to environmental racism and food injustice. If the working class are all eating shit sandwiches under systemic racism, does the fact that white people have bacon on theirs make it wholesome? Maybe if we talk more about how white people don't benefit from systemic racism, they'll care more about helping us end it.
People on the right are the biggest snowflakes on the face of the planet. And you guys got me fucked up. Not only do you lack the critical thinking skills to understand the difference between social cancellation and government cancellation, you lack the self-awareness to understand that all you're doing is projecting. Every time you point your finger at a liberal for something, there are 4 more fingers pointing back at you. You people claim to be anti-censorship, anti-cancel culture, and yet you people are voting for politicians that are doing just that. And I'm done with saying that you're incompetent, because you understand exactly what the fuck is going on. You accuse liberals of needing safe spaces, but in places like Tennessee, laws have been passed making it illegal for someone to dress in drag because it makes you feel some sort of way. But something like this is not only perfectly legal, but if I were to say something against it, you would accuse me of infringing on someone's First Amendment. You people have seriously made this country go fucking backwards because you didn't feel safe. And then you use your fucking kids as a vessel for your hate. We're protecting the kids. We're protecting the children. Meanwhile, the only thing you're protecting is your inability to coexist with people who aren't like you. I don't like this. Ban it. I don't like this. Pass a law. I don't understand this. I don't want to take the time to understand it. Make it illegal. One side is just trying to exist in this world. And on the other side, you just may be hiding the fact that you are exactly what you're accusing others of being. If I point the finger at someone else, no one's going to be looking at me. Your churches are filled with abuse. Your conservative politicians are on Grindr. You accuse immigrants of sucking off the system and you're on welfare. Look over there, not over here. Trans women are taking away your womanhood. Not us calling for your execution if you have a fucking abortion. You're dangerous because you're losing. You are losing this war and you will lose this war in the end. So keep celebrating your little battles of legislation and bills, because that shit's just temporary. And the evil and the hate that you carry in your hearts will never prevail. History shows us that every fucking time. And when the day of defeat comes, and it will, if you don't like it, bye.
I use the blonde girl emoji, even though I haven't been blonde since I was 4. Okay, so I initially responded to this comment with a joke, but nobody got the joke, so we have to do a history lesson. This is Eugen Fisher's hair gauge. It uses hair color to identify what race somebody is. Eugen Fisher was a Nazi, okay? Let's put 2 and 2 together here. The obsession that people have with hair color and the way that affects personality, that's straight up white supremacy and eugenics. And I am not accusing this commenter of being racist or a Nazi or anything like that. What I'm saying is that the underlying thinking process, the logic behind this comment, is based in the same white supremacy that underlies all of American society, okay? The way that the hair gauge is pictured doesn't really show everything in order, but the purpose of this was to determine somebody's relative proximity to whiteness. And the lighter that your hair is, the closer it is to blonde, the whiter you are. And that is why people cling so heavily to being blonde when they were a kid.
Unpopular opinion, but if you are a white person who has built your platform on anti-racism and you are monetizing in any way, shape, or form, you are perpetuating white supremacy. If you are sharing Black pain and trauma to trigger people into performative actions and activism, you are perpetuating white supremacy. If you are building a brand around yourself and setting yourself up as an expert without daily amplifying the Black educators and activists who taught you what you know, you are perpetuating white supremacy. You are literally doing the very thing that you would claim that you are not doing.
Debates and comments going on this post are very, very revealing. A lot of white people low-key freaking out, asking, oh, does this mean I have to give up on my stuff? And then other white people saying, no, you don't need to give up the stuff that you earned to be an ally and to fight for equality, equity. It's a hot mess, y'all. These are the wrong conversations to be having if we really care about racial equity and equality, if we really understand what is at stake and how this is impacting people. This tells me that a lot of y'all got a lot of work to do if you're actually going to be effective as allies, advocates, accomplices.
Stop scrolling if you're a white ally. Y'all are so important, and I'm about to show you why. This is what happens when white people explain why white people can't experience racism.
You can be racist towards white people. You can? That is so interesting because, see, I did a research paper in grad school on reverse racism, and my findings seem to contradict your unpopular opinion.
This is what the comment section looks like. Of course, there's some negative comments, but their qualifications are actually respected. This is what happens when Black people try to explain why white people can't experience racism. So fun. This one's a daily thing. And I had to turn my comments off for the first time ever because people were sending me and other users threats of, disagreeing with me is fine, but once you start to threaten other users, that's enough. Humans tend to listen to and resonate more with people who look like them. White people listen to white people more, black people listen to black people more, you get the idea. White allies are important.
Your regularly scheduled reminder that if you're a white person who thinks that you're an ally and that is a favor to marginalized people that you have allied yourself with, you're not an ally, you're just kind of an asshole. And before you go, there are tons of reasons that you should be committed to the dismantling of white supremacy in the United States and around the world. It is your own liberation that is at stake. And if you're a white person and you're thinking to yourself, I don't need liberation, I'm not oppressed, let me just gently offer a perspective to you. Could it be that the reason that you think that you are not oppressed in a system that oppresses everybody, except for the very, very wealthy, and even then I have some questions, could it be that you don't think you're oppressed because of maybe a 400-year propaganda campaign that maybe is the backbone of white supremacy?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not going to get out of bed until I absolutely have to.
So if you don't know, Dear White People is a Netflix original series that centers around Samantha White, who's played by Logan Browning, and runs a radio station at her school called Dear White People. But it's really about the entire group of black students at this primarily white Ivy League institution in our post-racial world. It takes a satirical but pointed spin. So my brief thoughts on it, it's based off of the 2014 film, and I think the series is a huge improvement on the film, which I didn't really like for a number of reasons, but it can be hard to watch because it's like, you're oppressed, and I'm like, I know! And in recent news, Jeremy Tardy, who plays Rashid, in the series will not be returning for the next season. One of his fellow actors who is white shared their salary, and he found that he was making far less. When he approached Lionsgate about getting more, they insisted that his salary and others were non-negotiable, so him and 6 other recurring characters are not returning.
Salary disclosure is allyship.
Welcome to the most uncomfortable bits of critical race theory. She just stumbled into tenet number 4, interest convergence, which is the reality that people of color are most likely to get what they want when that happens to coincide with what white people want. I'm a proponent of critical race theory, all of it, and I'm definitely not gonna say anything to argue with an Indian person about their own experience. I just want to remind white people that when you borrow and appreciate other cultures, try not to steal, because it's kind of like cheating on all of your homework. You're just gonna get an F on the test. It hurts you in the long run, guys. I made a video about this already.
Please don't forget to subscribe, turn on your notification. Anytime I upload a video, you will be notified. And feel free to leave your opinion down under the comment section. Stay blessed and